We're all looking for that juice in the middle rounds of our fantasy drafts, those upside plays, those guys that can really go ham and turn our teams around, potentially win the league for us. One guy we're looking at today is Rome Odunze, wide receiver for the Bears, first round draft pick, and whether or not you need him for fantasy football. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing deep dives on these players every day, helping you get through your drafts. We're talking about these players, the advanced metrics. You can watch them a la carte style and just go through the information and just decide whether you want the player or not. But you need to click that button so you can stop missing out, because we're doing this throughout the season as well. For top tier waiver wire players, guys climbing and falling down the depth charts as we look through these player situations. But Rome Odunze was technically a big-time prospect coming out of high school, but was not ranked very high by 24/7 Sports. He received 33 offers coming out of high school, which is a very good amount. On top of that, big-time programs, Washington, Alabama, Power 5 schools, 4-star athlete. Back then, ran a 4.55 40-yard dash, 33 vertical. That stuff changes a lot, but they were sleeping on him. Round 4 through 7, draft day projection here. They're saying he was a smooth route runner, but has good size. Something to be looking at when you're looking at young wide receivers here. But he was productive in 2022 and 2023. 1,100 yards in 2022, while in 2023 he had 1,600 yards. Then in his final year there in 2023, averaged 2.93 yards per reception, which is very good. But his average depth of target, 15.5. Getting those deep balls on 92 catches. That is tremendous. That means he's going to get a lot of deep targets. The year prior, 13.8. He covers the deep third. One of the better route runners coming out for the draft, too. And they're saying he's a very crispy route runner. His reception perception, covering his routes, how he creates separation, damn near perfect. Ran a 4.45 40-yard dash, elite burst score, elite agility score, moves well, 6'3", 212, good size, good everything. They got him comped to Justin Jefferson by the metrics, the production, the athletic specs, because he is very dynamic. And at Washington, he was very dynamic watching Pac-12 after dark, because he was making big plays left and right. And a lot of people were arguing him versus Marvin Harrison Jr. and versus Malik Neighbors. He's that type of prospect, that type of player. You look at the measurables, 91st percentile on the shuttle, 77 on the height, 75 on the weight, good on the 3-cone, good on the vertical jump, considering his height, good on the 40-yard dash, top tier prospect. But the big question here is the depth chart. We're sharing the wide receiver room with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, because you know those guys together are going to push a 50% share of the targets. Rome Odunze is going to be on the field in 3 wide receiver sets. They're probably going to roll with 3 wide receiver sets a lot. He's going to get those deep ball opportunities. He's going to be a splash play guy, and he's looking ahead of schedule in his development. So he's going to be out there. Maybe he gets around a 15, 16, 17, 18% target share to start things off. Maybe he gets more opportunities than realized, and maybe that could help you out. Another thing to look at here, Keenan Allen has faced some injuries throughout his career recently, because he's on the back 9 of his career, and maybe something happens to one of these wide receivers and he's got to step up. I look for less targets to be going to the tight end. Caleb Williams does not check it down the running backs. He does not. That was the big fault people were talking about, that people really that was looking at Caleb Williams. He would not go underneath. He likes to keep his eyes downfield. Rome Odunze will definitely be downfield in this offense, so that could lend to some opportunities for him for some splash production here. Last year, DJ Moore, 132 targets. I look for him to get a lot of targets this year. Cole Kmet, 87. That could reduce. That could reduce. Darnell Mooney's gone, 60 targets that are going to come up, but this is going to be a different offense with Caleb Williams. It's going to run at a different pace. Everything's going to look totally different. We got Keenan Allen. We got Rome Odunze with DJ Moore. This offense is going to look a lot different. Caleb Williams is the X factor, the 101. We all know this. He can play off scripts. Very good. Better than any rookie quarterback that we've ever seen. And if he develops, takes a step forward, and plays well, Caleb Williams could be delivering the goods with Rome Odunze. You're watching his price here in draft. Round 6 draft capital, and you got some good, steady wide receivers and a bunch of other upside wide receivers right behind him. The thing about this, when you're looking at this, this is a preference play. especially with him versus the upside wide receivers like a Jamison Williams, Ladd McConkey, Keon Coleman, Jackson Smith-Njigba. You're really saying the same story with a lot of these wide receivers. If happens, this player breaks out. If doesn't happen, this player doesn't break out. You're saying that with all these wide receivers. Probably a lot of them the if doesn't happen with. But if the if happens with Rome Odunze, and he's that guy that people were arguing for that's better than Marvin Harrison, better than Malik Neighbors, and being comped to Justin Jefferson statistically, then of course round 6 draft capital's too cheap because he's going to shine. And it doesn't matter if a DJ Moore's there or Keenan Allen's there, because if he's that guy that you're thinking of or those people are thinking of, definitely is going to shine, and he's definitely going to get his. If he's not, if he's a good wide receiver, if he needs more time to ramp up and develop, or if the target distribution's too much for him to be fantasy productive, then you're not making this play. You're not making this play. But if you got a huge belief in Rome Odunze and you were saying it in April, May, February, arguing with people on the internet, you better make this draft pick. You better, or delete your account. You better make this draft pick because this is cheap for a player like that. If you're saying he's a generational prospect and you were saying that this spring, you better make this draft pick because it's round 6 on Underdog. 8, 9, 10 in home league drafts. And he's going to fall down the board behind some of these running backs in your home league drafts to be even cheaper. The upside is immense. Now you're saying, hey, this is a unique video, but you're selling me for him and then not selling me for him because that's what these videos are. It's to help you make your choice whether or not you need the player. So you may not need him because he's an expensive lottery ticket. However, if you're drinking Coors Light in the backyard, drafting with your friends, he may not be expensive and you still love the talent. You may want to go after it. That's all on you and how your draft is going. If he goes a little bit cheaper, that's Underdog. They push up the wide receivers anyways. His upside is immense, even with good wide receivers there. And if he is true to what people believe, a generational prospect, and if you believe that, I believe he's a very good prospect. I believe he's a level down from those 2 top wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. But I believe if you put him on any other draft class, he's the top wide receiver. Easy, hands down. He's that type of wide receiver. So if he bakes well with Caleb Williams, they got a good rapport, he could go off. He's a top-tier lottery ticket. A top-tier lottery ticket. I mean, lottery tickets, you don't always win $1 million with. But the odds are more likely with a player like this, even with the situation. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.